Wow, Costco. You're probably wondering why I'm saying that. And I'm not talking just because of, hey, they have all these discounts and it's cult like where everybody that's shopping there loves it and goes in there and buys everything in bulk. I actually don't have a Costco membership, very familiar with it, but where I live, I go to BJ's Wholesale, very similar concept. But the reason I'm talking about Costco today is I just read Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. And one of the stories that they talk about lead the people and less of the numbers was comparing Jack Welch at GE and James Sinegal of Costco. See, everybody's heard of the Jack Welch way and all the things that GE did back in the day to really create high performing teams and high performing culture and company. But what was interesting is that after he actually left, GE kind of fell back and, continued on, but not at the same level when the leader was Jack Welch. Now, they also focused on really the shareholder versus the people. And by doing that, yes, profits looked great. The company looked high. Stocks were amazing. But then again, the long term, it wasn't where it needed to be. Now, flip it, and we're talking about James Sinegal, founder and CEO of Costco in the beginning. He led completely different. He thought about his people. He was empowering. So when he actually stepped down, the culture remained the same. I'm continuously reading stories about how much they care about their employees. They treated them like family. The employees were loyal to them. They took care of them when there were tough times and didn't want to do layoffs. Instead, looked for other ways to make cuts. And what was interesting is because he led people versus focusing on the numbers, at the same time in 1986 or so when they went public and Jack Welch was leading the way with GE, 20 plus years later, you could actually look at the return on investment on Costco was double the return on investment of GE. So it was interesting to see, yes, GE, short-term time while he was leader, it was great, but Costco built something for the long run. And that's actually mainly what leadership is about. When you actually step down, move away, leave for another organization, etc., does your team, everything you're doing fall apart? Or do you build something that lasts forever? That's the true definition of leadership. And James Sinegal really created that with Costco. Learning more and more about him and excited to do a deep dive into his practices since he's so much focused on people. And I'm a true believer of that. So if you haven't checked out that book, I really recommend it, especially for all the different stories that Simon Sinek talks about and all the leadership lessons in there. And on top of that, do some research on James Sinegal and see why Costco is set for long-term success. Thanks for checking out this newsletter.